What's up everyone, welcome to the video. So today is my second upper body day of the week. My first upper body day being the incline bench workout, which you guys did see. And so this is just me warming up with no weight at all. So I like to warm up with about 5 to 8 reps here, just doing body weight, and then I will increase the weight to about 25 pounds. And again, all these warm-up sets are to prime the central nervous system to get it firing, get it ready for the heavier weights. If you just go in there straight to your work set, most likely you're going to be slightly weaker because your nervous system hasn't had a chance to get warmed up and get firing. So that's why I do all these warm-up sets, and I don't count them to my work sets, so here I'm doing 4 sets of 9, 8, 7, and 6. So all these warm-up sets in the beginning are basically just a bonus to get my body ready, get it firing and primed for the heavier weight. And so the rep scheme here is going to be 9, 8, 7, and 6. So this is my first work set. So I have 50 pounds strapped to my body. So this is roughly a 260 pound dip, which I did successfully hit for 9 reps. And yes, I'm still using progressive overload even though I am cutting. It is still very important to focus on increasing, or if not keeping, your strength while cutting. So next movement was some wide grip pull-ups. Now we rest 90 seconds after the dip and then do some wide grip pull-ups, the same rep scheme, 9, 8, 7, and 6. And the pull-up and the chin-up are definitely one of my bread and butter movements for the back. And so next set we had 270 pounds, which is basically 60 pounds strapped to my body. And so we did successfully hit it for 8 repetitions here, and then again we rest for 90 seconds and do some wide grip pull-ups. And then this is the third set of the weighted dip. So we have 70 pounds strapped to my body, and this is roughly 280 pounds for 7 reps. And then moving on to the fourth and final set of these dips, 80 pounds strapped to my body, so it's roughly 290 pounds for the dip, for a set of 6 reps. Next movement, we had some neutral grip dumbbell presses on a 60-degree incline. Now again, I always press with neutral grip because it is really good for taking the stress off of the shoulder joint. You see a lot of guys bench pressing or even dumbbell pressing and they have their elbows super flared out. That's just straight asking for an injury. So I press in this neutral grip position because, for one, it is comfortable, and 2, you get a little bit more range of motion. So we're going to do 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps here, and after every set of these incline presses we're going to rest for 75 seconds and do some arc rows. So 8 to 10 reps here, and the arc row is definitely a type of row that most people aren't used to seeing or doing, but it is a great back exercise as you do get a nice contraction on the lat. So we're going to do 8 to 10 reps here and repeat this back and forth between the incline press and the arc row for 4 total sets. Then we moved on to some lateral raises, 4 sets of 12 to 15 reps. And I really want to bring up my medial delt, which the medial delt is basically the sides of your delt, which kind of give you that pop. I do have pretty well developed anterior delts and decently well developed posterior delts, which are your rear delts. So 4 sets of 12 to 15 reps here, and then we're going to rest for 30 seconds and do some bent over lateral raises. So this movement right here is going to really focus on the rear delt, which is the posterior chain. And if you guys have really weak rear delts, or even if you don't even train them frequently, it can kind of give you that look to where your shoulders are kind of rolled forward. So by training your rear delts, it'll really help your posture, and it could actually help increase your bench press. And so here is another physique update. As you guys can see, every week I am still getting leaner while doing cheat days, and man, I gotta tell you, this has been such a fun experiment and experience. I get so many questions asking, can I do cheat days in it? Can I lose weight? Can I do this? Can I do that? It really comes down to just experimenting with your body, finding what works and collecting all of the data. I can't stress this enough, because the more data you have, the better. Alright, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the workout, and now I am still doing the same training split. So I'm doing upper, lower, then I take a rest day, and then upper, lower, and then I have 2 days off. And this way, I feel like it's most effective for recovery. Yes, I have been dieting, but I've been maximizing my strength in the gym. Like basically, shuttling all my calories around my workouts, which I have spoken about before. And this way I'm able to keep the most amount of intensity on the bar. And when you are dieting, that is very, very important to basically keep your strength, because that is what's going to make you hold on to the muscle. Now, as I've been dieting, I didn't change my training. When a lot of people diet, they think, oh, they have to change up their whole workout. They have to do lots and lots of high reps to burn the fat around the muscle. That is completely false. That's untrue. So like I just said, it's very important to keep training heavy. Obviously, you're gonna have to back down the amount of volume you're doing. Say if you're bulking, you're doing, say, 6 sets of squats with, like, say the 5 to 7 rep range, or I don't know, 4 to 6 rep range. You're gonna have to eventually back that down, because you're not gonna be able to recover from it. So for what I've been doing, everything's been working pretty well. I'm training 4 days per week. I have 3 rest days. And in terms of cardio, I'm just basically doing some light walking. I'm not doing anything that's very high intensity that will really inhibit recovery from the strength training. And that's what I'm mainly doing, is just prioritizing my strength training to get the maximum results as possible. And even though I am dieting, I'm still using the progressive overload principle. So the progressive overload principle is basically over time you increase your sets, your reps, your weight. So for me, for instance, I'm either adding 1 to 2 reps to every workout, or I'm adding, say, 5 pounds to the bar. During this last training phase, I squatted, and every single workout I was able to add 5 pounds to the bar on every single set. Now with my pressing strength, it's kind of slightly been maintaining. My squat strength hasn't taken much of a hit at all. Like, it's just really my pressing strength, I've noticed, that has been on a slight, just basically maintenance kind of decline. Obviously, when I was full on bear mode, I was like incline pressing like 225 for like 6, no problem. But as I get lighter and leaner, my pressing strength is starting to take a little bit of a hit. And then still using the cheat day as basically my refeed day, like I did speak about in my last video. If you guys did see that one, I did give you guys a good amount of information on like what a refeed day is, how to do it, all that. And so yeah, like, I've been using the cheat day to boost my performance in the gym, and it becomes very beneficial, because when you diet, your metabolic rate adapts, and that'll become your new maintenance. Say you start a diet at 2,500 calories and you're dropping fat, you have to cut calories again. So say you drop it down to 2,300 calories, and as you keep doing this, the metabolic rate can adapt to whatever you throw at it. So it's very important to take like refeeds or diet breaks, because that will become your new maintenance calories. Like, say you'd be down to like 2,000 calories and you're maintaining your body weight on that, when you should really be consuming, say, 2,800 calories as your maintenance. So that's called metabolic adaptation. So what you want to do is just take a diet break. It may sound like counterintuitive, but it's very beneficial for the metabolic rate to get healthy again, to kick back up, restore metabolic hormones. And then when you go back to dieting, it makes fat loss much easier, and it kind of picks right back up. So all these little tips and tricks that I'm telling you guys are very useful, and they could really help you in your cutting phase. And that's why I've been documenting the whole thing from the start of this. Basically, it started out as a mini cut. I was gonna just do a couple weeks just to tighten up for modeling purposes, and then just week to week, it's like every single time you diet, you just want to get leaner, and you just don't think you're lean enough. So sometimes it's kind of beneficial to have somebody, to basically ask somebody that has experience with this. So even like my friend Kabir, like he's an online coach as well, and from an outside standpoint, looking in like at my physique and how lean I am and my progress, he's like, dude, you look great. Like I seriously think you don't have to get any leaner. But for me, I want to push it a little bit further, tighten up a little bit more. And when you start dieting, it really plays tricks on your brain, thinking like you're not lean enough, or like, because when you look in the mirror, you just look instantly at that one spot that has the most amount of body fat, and that's all you're comparing yourself to. You're not looking at like how good your shoulders are coming in or how lean your serratus is. It's like you'd be looking at that lower patch of body fat on the bottom of like your abdomen. And like you won't even look at the bigger picture and be like, wow, I'm really lean. So I'm just putting it out there that like it can really mess with your head. So like most likely you probably made some good progress, but like don't let it screw with your head. It just kind of comes with dieting. But yeah, I hope all these tips have helped you guys, and I'm really having a good time during this cutting phase. It's really been super easy, super laid back, and I'm not stressing it. You know, I don't have a deadline to where I'm like, all right, this day I have to be X amount of body fat. I'm really just having fun with it, and each week I'm just taking it as it comes. And you know, every week I'm getting leaner. Every week I'm having a pretty massive cheat day. Last week I ate 10,000 calories just for fun, just to do it. And yes, of course, it does take a few days for the weight to come down, but it'll level off. But yeah, all right, that's going to conclude this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions at all, please leave them in the comment box below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.